Uncut, and I'm your host, the guy that'll tell you 2 and 2 makes 3, your favorite cult of personality, John Arhitis. Of course, going to talk about the latest and greatest in Hudson County news. So, first of all, we got quite a few items out of Jersey City in the past 7 days. Notably, we had the caucus on Monday, and we revisited that off-duty detail rate for Jersey City police officers. A very interesting conversation there between Public Safety Director James Shea and quite a few council members, actually. So we're going to tell you what this first reading of the ordinance would do and why this is important. Also, going to talk about the first of many town hall meetings from the Jersey City Board of Education. So that's also tonight, running concurrently with the council meeting. So again, the significance of that. We're also going to chat a little bit about a new lawsuit that's in Hudson County Superior Court, and that's a former Jersey City police officer that was fired. He was involved in a number of violent incidents, and he also is questioning the discipline that he received and the way it was handled. So all that and a whole lot more right after this word from our sponsors.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design studio and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Hudson County View Live Uncut, John Arhitis. So let's dive into those Jersey City matters I just mentioned. So again, at caucus, of course, every caucus Monday, 4 p.m., 280 Grove Street, City Hall, and of course the live streams on Microsoft Teams as well. So we talked a lot about the Jersey City off-duty details in the past few years, and they've been back for, I don't know, probably about 5 years, but there was something that the council voted on to little fanfare. Wasn't a big deal at the moment, but they changed the off-duty rates, and this led to some friction with some nonprofits. So now they're trying to take some corrective action. At least that's in the words of Public Safety Director James Shea, and it doesn't look like things went according to plan. So if we go to the meeting, you'll see that Director Shea said, basically it's simplifying and removing what I've been told is the possibility of misinterpretation of the fees for the off-duty police officers, eliminating a lot of what probably shouldn't have been in there in the first place, and then simplifying just by day and time what the rates are. It also adds the crossing guards and traffic people who we used in a pilot project for the last third of the last year. It adds their rates so that we could use them and bring the price down. So we heard from Ward B Councilwoman Mira Prinzeri, and she said when the council received the proposed first reading of the ordinance, there was a conversation about having a specific off-duty rate for all nonprofits. If you guys remember in October, I reported on some emails I obtained regarding the Ballad Parade, and that group ended up threatening litigation against the city. The city wanted them to pay $150 an hour. They contended that as a nonprofit, they were entitled to the $50 an hour, and that's what they ended up paying, long story short. And I think that significantly contributed to why we are here today. Now, when we look at what Councilwoman Prinzeri said, she said, could somebody walk us through all these changes because we're being told two different things. We have a lot of groups that quite honestly might not be able to afford these, whether they are smaller nonprofits or even some of our special improvement districts. And the conversation continued. So Long story short, Shea then said for Saturday, Sunday, and city holidays, that seems to be where the main points of contentions are. So the hourly price for Saturdays and city holiday rates, $112.50 an hour. And then for Sunday and city holidays, it's $150. There is a $160 an hour rate, but that's only on Sundays or holidays after 4 p.m. And as you guys probably know, that's extremely rare to have any sort of parade or celebration at that point in time. So this went on for longer than you would have thought it would, probably about half an hour. And at the end of the day, we heard a suggestion from Wardy Councilman James Solomon, who said we should probably table this, perhaps even start an ad hoc committee and have a deeper conversation. Obviously, they want the nonprofits to still be able to host the events that they're hosting at a rate that is affordable. And at the same time, I don't think anybody wants the city to be shortchanged. And of course, people want public safety to remain paramount. So let's see if this ends up getting a vote tonight. We will certainly have somebody there covering. Now, while we're also talking about that, as I also mentioned, the Board of Education is going to have their first planned quarterly town hall. That's going to be at Henry Snyder High School, 239 Bergen Ave. It's going to be between 6 and 8 p.m. Of course, that will coincide with the council meeting, which is unfortunate, but at the same token, most people don't go to both City Council and Board of Ed meetings, so I don't think it's the end of the world either. With that, I spoke to the board president, Natalia Iufi, and she pointed out to me that the last year the board adopted a series of goals, annual goals, and one of them was to hold these quarterly town halls. She said it would be better to talk about the budget sooner than later and take resident feedback. Of course, I'm paraphrasing. Now, last year, you recall the 9-member elected governing body passed a prelim budget that was just over $1 million with a tax decrease of $51 for the average home assessed at $470,000. Talked about the Jersey City Board of Education quite a bit as it relates to school funding and taxes. So it'll be interesting to see what this public conversation brings. Now, also of note, unlike their meetings, this is not going to live stream. This is only going to be recorded and posted at a later date. So I'm going to try to get over there myself and let you guys know what happens. So on another note, an interesting lawsuit also in Jersey City. It's in Hudson County Superior Court, filed a week ago. A fired Jersey City police officer, again, as I mentioned, he's calling into question the discipline that led to his termination, and he's also seeking back pay that he says he has won through a New Jersey Civil Service Commission decision. And there's a lot here. I mean, it's a very long lawsuit, 63 pages, which is very unusual, 8 counts, and it begins pointing out that this Mr. Jesse O'Brien was a friend of Detective Joseph Seals, and I mean, I'm sure if you guys are watching this, you know that Detective Seals was one of 4 innocent lives claimed in that very sad domestic terrorism incident on December 10th, 2019 at that kosher deli in Greenville. And it talks about how he began to have mental health issues after that day, and then it points out that he was involved in about 3 other violent incidents, including one where a man was shot through the stomach and he ended up dying in the hospital, and this is someone he was acquainted with. And he said the department didn't do anything to aid him with the mental health component of the job. Now, again, the allegations are quite voluminous. There's a whole lot of things brought into dispute here, but the biggest one probably is the way that the discipline was issued. They talked about the early warning system monitoring. This was for using quote-unquote unprofessional and offensive language during a 2022 arrest. That was July 26th. Hudson County View Live and Uncut, John Arhitis, and as I mentioned a few moments ago, today I'm joined with United States Representative Rob Menendez of the 8th District. Rob, thanks for coming in.
Hey, John, appreciate it.
No problem. So, well, it's a 3-man race at this moment. I mean, we have yourself, Kyle Jacey, Hoboken Mayor Ravi Bala. Most people are treating it like it's a head-to-head between yourself and Mayor Bala. Now, he said we need new leadership in Washington. It's time for a change. We need to put a stop to nepotism, a stop to corruption, and basically I'm the guy for the job. So what do you think of this narrative that he's come out with and has been running with?
Well, first of all, we're going to run on our track record, and we're really proud of the work that we've done in our first year in office. Here in the district, we solved over 1,100 cases for families and constituents in the district, ranging from immigration issues, work issues, visa issues, and we're proud of that work. Down in Washington, we've been effective from day one. We were elected to a leadership position by our freshman colleagues. We were asked and appointed to leadership positions within the House Democratic Caucus. We've brought back over $11 billion in federal funds for things like the Gateway Project, the Northeast Corridor, environmental justice grants, transitioning ferries to green technology. So we've gotten a lot done in our time in office. There's more that we want to do, but that's the record that we're going to share with voters when we seek our reelection.
All right, so you've secured, I don't know, probably anywhere from 1 to 2 dozen endorsements at this point. And you have the HCDO, you have the Hudson County Board of Commissioners, Essex Democrats, Union Democrats, so on and so forth. Basically all the political players, if you will, of the district. The one name missing is a gubernatorial candidate, Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop. Obviously no friend of the Menendez family by any stretch, but when he put out that tweet, you know, he basically said you owe it to your constituents to denounce what your father is accused of. I mean, what do you think of this point of view that he has expressed quite adamantly?
Well, I think it's Steve's point of view, and for the rest of the folks who are focused on the work that we've done, they're supporting our efforts. So for the mayors that we have in the district, for the other legislators that we have in the district, they know what we've done and what we've been able to accomplish in a short amount of time, and those are the relationships I'm focused on. Steve and others are entitled to their opinion, but he is the lone voice on that issue. People know that we're two separate people. And when people look at me and the work I've done in this role, they trust me to continue to do the work. People know Robbie, they know me. People are trusting me to continue to get the job done.
Fair enough. Now, there was an interview in the Washington Post yesterday that your father did, and he didn't say it outright, but he heavily alluded to the fact that he might be running in this primary again. So what do you think of the prospect of you two both being on the same ballot at the same time?
You know, I focus on what's within my control. And I made the decision that I'm going to continue to run for this seat. This is the district that I love. This is where I grew up. This is where I'm raising my family. I love every single municipality in this district, and it is the honor of a lifetime to get to represent it. And I'm going to focus on my reelection, bringing the work that we've done to our voters and connecting with them on the issues that matter. And because that's what I control, that's what I'm going to focus on.
Reasonable enough. Now, let's get out of the heart of the matter beyond your father. So now, Mayor Bala, if you've read his emails and his social media postings, he's been talking a lot about climate change and resiliency, been talking a lot about Vision Zero, and there's also, of course, been mentioned he would be the first term in seat in Congress. So when you're looking at these messages that he's putting out to potential voters, what do you think of that, and how do you combat that?
I think if you're going to look at anything, you should look at what he said publicly about our work, which is that we've been a good partner for the city of Hoboken. We've, all of their priority projects, we've emphasized in our work, sent letters on their behalf. We helped them with the Hoboken Dry Dock. It had to go through the Army Corps of Engineers. Our office led that. So I wish I had saved the text that Robbie sent me when he wasn't running against me, because he was extremely appreciative of the work that we've done. And so if you go back and you look at the things that he's publicly said, things that he said in private to people, he knows that we're doing a great job. A lot of our priorities are aligned. We've done the work. I think when people really dig deep on his candidacy, it's about political opportunism as opposed to any issue with the work that I've done. And that's why when you see people who are not running for the seat, they're supporting us because they know that we're committed to the work. We're not about political opportunism. That's why we have the support that we do, and that's why he doesn't have, as far as I know, any announced support.
Very good. So now you mentioned political opportunism as well when you announced you'd be running again in September. So are you basically taking the position that if your father didn't have these legal troubles, Mayor Bala would not be a candidate?
Robbie endorsed us when we ran the first time. Steve endorsed us when we ran the first time. Everyone else that's supporting us also supported us the first time. We've done the work. You know, the only thing that's changed in the dynamic is the challenges that my father has. And so I see it as Robbie trying to take an opportunity. Look at what happened on city council. He went competitive on a bunch of races, didn't win them, right? He's now losing control of his council. I guarantee you, if you poll the residents of Hoboken, Robbie Bala does not have a future there. So he's looking for a pathway out. He thinks this is his pathway out. He's gonna be deeply disappointed when we get to June.
So it sounds like you're looking forward to competing with him on winning Hoboken portion of the district. Is that fair to say?
We represent every single municipality in this district. As I mentioned earlier, I love every single municipality in this district. I went to high school in Hoboken, have friends in Hoboken, have deep ties to Hoboken. We have a message for every single municipality. We've done the work in every single municipality. We're going to go and compete for every single vote in every single municipality, Hoboken included.
Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. Rob, certainly don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back right after this word from our sponsors.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one path stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Hudson County View Live and Uncut. Still John Hydus, still here with Congressman Rob Menendez. So, Congressman, now let's talk a little bit about what's happening in D.C. So I remember when you first announced, it was right in the wake of January 6th, and you talked about how that was important to your candidacy. So what does that mean to you this time around, if anything?
Yeah, it's still extremely important, the health of our democracy, the challenges that we're facing, especially now that we're looking at a rematch between Biden and Trump. We also see a reluctance by House Republicans to acknowledge the threat that we face here domestically. I sit on Homeland Security, and one of the first things that we saw was House Republicans were unwilling to acknowledge that domestic terrorism is an issue that we have to deal with on the committee. Now, that's unfortunate because, as you see, it impacts all of our communities throughout the country. So we have serious challenges. We need to continue to face those challenges in the face. House Democrats, myself, are ready to do it. House Republicans are much more reluctant to because they're the party of Donald Trump. And they're worried that if they challenge him on any of these issues, they will lose political support from the base of their party. And that's the dynamic that we see when we're in Washington.
Now, there was a report on a study yesterday, and that study was evaluating the credibility and the trust that the American people had in different professions, and actually House, meaning congressional reps, were at the very bottom of the list. So what do you think about that?
We need to rebuild trust with our constituency every single day. And so that's why we focus on constituent services. The experience that I want people to have when they reach out to our office is that they get a white glove service. Now, if you call our office and it's something that we can deal with, we go right to work. You can ask any of the 1,100 families that we've helped. But if you also call with a parking ticket in Jersey City, we're not going to tell you no. We're going to help you navigate it, because ultimately, if we're that person's one call, right, they think of the government and they think of our office, we want to make sure that they have the best possible experience. I think we can restore faith in government in a lot of different ways. Direct services, to me, is the best way to do it. You look at Brian Stack, right, and the type of service, right, public service that he delivers, right, people have confidence and faith, right, in Union City and Brian Stack's ability to deliver those services. I want them to feel that way about the federal government. Now, we can't solve every challenge, right, facing the federal government. We can't solve every challenge facing the House, especially with Republicans in the majority. They've shown they don't know how to govern, right? But what we can control is how the constituents and residents of the 8th Congressional District feel about the service that they're getting from our office. We are fanatical about it. Because if we can deliver that service in a way that makes people feel like they are seen and they are heard, then we're doing our job. And I think that's a way that we can directly control how we make people feel more positive about their government.
Okay, very good. Now, of course, an issue that everyone's talking about for months now is Gaza, what's happening, of course, overseas. Now, do you think today is the time to call for the ceasefire, or was it yesterday, last month, or is it not at all? Where do you stand on that important issue?
It's one of the most challenging situations that we're dealing with right now. There is an immense amount of trauma that people feel across all different sectors of our population here, people who have direct ties to Palestinians, people who have direct ties to Israelis, and there's a lot of hurt right now. We've worked directly with our Jewish community here in the 8th Congressional District. We've worked directly with our Palestinian community. We're fortunate to have someone like Yusuf Saleh, who's Palestinian himself, who shares a lot of the challenges the community is facing. We know that we have to get to a durable, resilient solution. There's been ceasefires before, as you know, right?
Yeah.
And we also know that there continues to be a challenge of hostages that are continuing to be held by Hamas. So what we need to do is work with international partners to continue to move this in a much better direction. We can't continue to have the loss of civilian life that we've had. We can't continue to have events like October 7th, which Hamas has said they will continue to do again and again.
Yeah.
We need to get to a long-term solution. Now, we've been very vocal about that looks like a two-state solution. We believe that. People may not feel like it's possible in this moment because of all of the trauma that we're experiencing, but we have to get to a much better place. We're committed to getting to a much better place where you do not see the events like that have happened on October 7th. You do not see the loss of civilian life. We can do much better. We have to do much better, and we're committed to doing that work.
Very good. Now, just finally, when people are comparing candidates, when they're doing their homework, they're reading literature, whatever, when they have, you on one side, they have Ravi Bala on the other side, aside from what you already said today, what do you think is the biggest difference between you two guys?
I can only speak to how I've approached this role. And, it's an honor to be able to represent the place you grew up, the place you're raising your family. I've poured myself into this role. I have 2 young kids, and leaving them every week is hard. The way I justify it, the way I justify the sacrifice I ask my wife to make, because she's basically a single parent when I leave, is that I have to make the most of this opportunity every single day. Every single day we go to work. Whatever it is that we can do, we try to make the most of it. I believe that this role is about output. Output for every resident who lives in this congressional district. We have to do as much as we can for them. I've committed myself to it. I've poured myself into it. If people who have seen the work, people who have interacted with us, with our office, they know that we're 100% committed to the public. And so that's what we offer. And we have a track record of offering it. We're just getting started. We built an office from scratch. When you're a freshman office, you don't inherit, right, civil servants, right? You have to build a staff. You have to build a team. You have to give them priorities. Our priorities have always been delivering constituent services, delivering results, tangible results for the people who live in this district. That's what's on the ballot. We've done the work, and when people look at it, when they dive in, they will see that we've been committed every single day. That's why I'm asking for an opportunity to do it for 2 more years. I got the year ahead of me, and we're going to maximize every single day. The last thing I'll say is, if you ask anyone in our office, our motto is that your term is 2 years. Whether you're the Speaker of the House, whether you're Hakeem Jeffries, whether you're a freshman in the House, you get 2 years. And it's your obligation to do as much as you can in those 2 years. That's what we've committed ourselves to. And I guarantee you, when you ask people who have interacted with our office, when you ask the elected officials who are supporting us, they know that we are in this for the right reasons. We are here to do the work. It's been an honor of a lifetime this past year. I'm excited about the work ahead, and I'm excited to ask for the opportunity to do it for 2 more years.
Congressman, it's a pleasure.
Thank you as always, John.
Certainly be talking soon. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. We're not done yet. We'll be right back.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and launch inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Panepinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panepintodevelopment.com. Panepinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Got Chowder Hiatus. So a few other items out of Jersey City today. So first of all, we heard earlier this week from a Jersey City youth hockey president. As you know, the Pershing Field ice rink has been closed since last winter. And now there's a push to try to get that reopened in time for next season. So from Jersey City Capitals president Mike Mariniello, he said, Pershing Ice Rink has been home to the Jersey City Capitals for over 30 years. Throughout that time, the program has taught thousands of children in Jersey City and throughout Hudson County the fundamentals of hockey, introducing them to a sport that for many is a lifetime passion. So he says, I'm committed to working with Jersey City officials to reopen the Charlie Hedger Ice Rink at Pershing Field so we can get our players back on the ice. I welcome the city to meet me at that commitment. And there's been a petition that's been going around for many months, I mean, probably upwards of a year now. And they're still circulating that. And he also continued in his statement that they want the rink to reopen by the fall 2024 season, which I just mentioned. And they want a public commitment from the mayor, city council, and rec department to do so, as well as a public posting of a concrete action plan that is updated monthly. Now, we know that we've heard since October about that this is going to cost up to $5 million. You know, some advocates have said that, well, they just got this $1 million grant. The city's saying it's going to cost exponentially more than that. And city spokeswoman Kimberly Wallace-Scalcione said that realistically, it's not going to open until 2025, 2026. Since we're running short on time, I'm going to let you read the rest of that one for yourselves. Another one out of Jersey City, and actually another petition. We see that now planning and zoning, as well as Historic Preservation Commission meetings, are back to in-person only. And nearly 24 community groups have signed a letter saying that they want a hybrid format, which basically means you could attend in person or you could attend virtually, and you could also give comment virtually as well, which was popular in a lot of municipalities during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. And now many governing bodies have switched back to in-person only, and they're pushing back against this. But the wrinkle here is that we now have 3 council members, Ward B Councilwoman Mira Prinzeri, we also have Ward E Councilman James Solomon, and Ward F Councilman Frank Educational Gilmore coming out in support of this measure. So let's see what the city decides to do. They have previously said that this was not in their plans. Now, not too much time, so I'm just going to be very brief. The Superior Court of New Jersey Appellate Division affirmed a prior ruling to fire a Hudson County Corrections officer for a failed drug test. That was back on January 18th. That decision was rendered. So we're going to let you read about LaTara Griffin and her nearly 6-year battle with the courts and how this ended, unless they decide to petition the New Jersey Supreme Court. We're going to keep our eyes peeled on that. And also, speaking of the 8th District, Hoboken Mayor Ravi Bala, on that same day, January 18th, signed an executive order creating an LGBTQIA plus Pride Advisory Committee. So that's a 12-member committee. We're going to let you, again, read up on the details on your own. We're going to call it a week, folks. Next week, I'm going to be with Jersey City Ward E Councilman James Solomon. We're looking forward to seeing you then. Have a good one.
Thanks for watching Hudson Media Group.